The video you're about to see first aired on our NFL Draft-focused YouTube channel. For more NFL Draft videos from mock drafts, prospect rankings, position rankings, and team-specific draft coverage, hit that sub button over there. It's youtube.com/chatNFL. Today's show is made possible by RexMD, the leader in men's online wellness. They're giving you the best they've ever offered, up to 95% off and a free gift. Go to rexmd.com/chat. Tell you more about them later on in today's show. But if you want even more NFL draft videos, then spam me in the comment section. Let's show my bosses here at Chat Sports that this is the content you guys want. Spam your me's as we break down the latest Mel Kiper updated NFL Draft Big Board. No change at the top. It remains Caleb Williams at number 1 overall out of USC. I mean, I get it, right? You know, there are some things to be worried about for Caleb Williams. Just take the check down sometimes. There's moments, it's like the Josh Allen. I call it the bozo gene, but the out-of-structure stuff is uncoachable. It's unteachable. It does have the immense upside, but there is risk involved. That's why you are not allowed to make Patrick Mahomes comps. This is why you people are banned from it. Number 2, Marvin Harrison. I'd actually put him at number 1 because he's not the quarterback. The value is always going to be a little bit lower of the upside, but who here thinks he's going to be a number 1 wide receiver in the NFL? Like everyone, right? I think he's awesome. Drake May at number 3. I'm going to have to go back and clip the first mock draft we did where I'm like, hey, guys, the Caleb Williams, Drake May, more of a 1A, 1B than people maybe want to admit. That's going on right now, especially if you look around other draft media outlets. He's a good player. Number 4, Brock Bowers, tight end from Georgia. There's the positional value of how early can you really take a tight end, and it's uncertain for me. But if you're as a playmaker, as a weapon, a slot receiver maybe, there's plenty of value there. Number 5, again, no changes yet from Mel's latest update of the big board. Shedeur Sanders, who, again, I like Sanders a lot. I think he's a really good NFL prospect. I said he was a real player back when he was at his previous stop. I like what I've seen from Shedeur. I also know Coach Prime has said, his kids are going to come back to school for one more year. I buy that. I think it makes some sense. Can give him some real offensive line help, maybe, and lead to better results overall. I do think ESPN is pushing the Shedeur Sanders hype a little bit too far. I don't think he should be number 5 on your board. Fine to make him quarterback 3. I don't think he should be number 5. So in the end, will Sanders turn pro this year, or is his daddy telling the truth and he'll go back to college football? I think he is. Y for yes, N for no. Head down to the comment section. It's the pinned comment on today's video. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Let me know. Y for yes, N for no. Number 6, Olu Fashanu. Not the best effort against Ohio State. I got beat, basically, which hadn't really happened all year long. Immense upside as a franchise-caliber left tackle. Rome Odunze, number 7. Again, still no changes here. I love watching him play. Odunze and Keon Coleman at FSU, who's number 8 on the Mel Kiper big board. It's a tinge high for that. I don't know if they're really top 10 guys, but I'm talking like maybe they're 12 or something. Guys are awesome. Bigger body receivers. Funny, last year's class had 0 X receivers. There was nobody. You know, Jonathan Mingo got pushed in the second round because of it. Done nothing in Carolina so far. Hope that changes for him. This year, you got some X receivers. Those bigger body guys. Dunzier, you guys see that contested while getting PI'd catch Keon Coleman made against Miami? Oh, my God. He's so much fun to watch. Then there's LSU's Malik Neighbors, our first change. He was 12, now number 9 on Mel's updated big board. I don't love putting 4 receivers in the top 10. Feels just a little bit extreme, but the defensive class is not that good. That's why there's one player in the top 10 that plays defense, which we will get to here in just a moment. But first, today's show is made possible by RexMD. Fellas, do you sometimes lack some confidence in the bedroom? Do you wish you could have a more fulfilling sex life? You are not alone. That's why we are hyped to tell you guys about RexMD, the online source for men's wellness. RexMD offers an easy and discreet way to get the medication you need for ED without having to go to the doctor's office. With a few clicks, you can have your medication delivered straight to your door at a fraction of the cost of traditional pharmacies. RexMD's team of licensed physicians will work with you to find the right treatment plan, and their medication is made in the USA, so you know you can trust its quality. Plus, their customer support team is available 24/7 to answer any questions or concerns you may have. If you are ready to take control of your sex life and say goodbye to ED, head on over to rexmd.com/chat and start your consultation today. Take advantage of the best they've ever offered, up to 95% off RexMD and a free gift with our exclusive link. That's rexmd.com/chat. Go to that link, rexmd.com/chat, for this limited time deal. Starter packs of generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our viewers to get started. That's rexmd.com/chat. First defensive player, Cooper DeJean, that's how you pronounce it, out of Iowa. I'm a huge fan of his game. He can do, I think, any spot in the secondary and is a great return man. He is a legitimate first-round pick at corner. I have no complaints about him being CB1. There's another guy I love too. We'll get to him in a little bit. Last time we did this video, and the last time Mel updated his rankings, he's done another update in between the last video and this one. I put it out. Hey, Mel's missing, I think, the best defensive player in the class, and that is Laiatu Latu out of UCLA. Well, he's now gone from unranked to number 11 because I was right, and Mel should have had him on there. Glad to see him finally make an appearance in late November with 2 games left to go. Very interesting games. Dallas Turner, number 12. He's not the biggest guy. I hate how Bama drops him into coverage, but he's very good when he actually gets to rush the DQB. I think Joe Alt at number 13, by the way, same spot for him, is a little bit low. I have been very impressed by his game. I would have him in my top 10, even ignoring the positional value of a franchise left tackle. He's a very, very good prospect. Who is your favorite player in the 2024 NFL Draft? Maybe it's Shedeur Sanders. He's super fun to watch. Maybe it's Jaden Daniels, speaking of fun to watch, who's not on this list. But, by the way, maybe we'll update Mel's top 10 quarterbacks at some point soon. He has Jaden Daniels at 7, which I think is probably about right there. Favorite player in the NFL Draft? Let me know in the comments section. One of Mel's favorites, who is now sliding back down, because my issue with Mel is that sometimes you can clearly tell what game he just scouted, because the player who balls out tends to rise up in that list. A couple guys that stand out there, but Troy Fautanu, I think he's gonna be a guard, but a really good in the NFL. But again, I think 14 is rich for him. Kool-Aid McKinstry, elite name, going to be a great football player, because how can you not be a good player with the name Kool-Aid? Teams don't throw at him at Alabama. They're looking at Terrion Arnold more than anything, and he's played very well, by the way. He could be a first-round pick, too. McKinstry, when teams don't throw at you, that means you're really good. He's number 15. Leonard Taylor, number 16, was a very weird, he went from not ranked on Mel's board to ranked again at 15, now back down to 16. Some weird jumping around there. Needs to show a little bit more consistency for me, but the upside is there, and I love gambling on upside 3 techniques. Now, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest NFL draft news, make sure you guys are subscribed. This video, of course, going up on our NFL draft channel and on the Chat Sports YouTube channel. A ton of draft coverage at both places. The NFL Draft one will have some more team-specific stuff, and the main channel, Chat Sports YouTube, will have other NFL stuff as well. We're your one-stop shop, folks. Hit that sub button right now. Another non-ranked player previously gets on the board, Tyler Guyton. A bit of an extreme jump up to 17, but I have no complaints about him being in the top 25. It's a good tackle class, folks. Amik Abuka down 2 spots, the other Ohio State wide receiver. I'm excited to see this OSU Michigan. Michigan has some good corners. How do they cover Harrison and Kenabuka, who's been a bit banged up, get going a little bit more? It's a good receiver class. You know, we're at number 18, and we are now up to the point where, in terms of the overall wide receiver rankings, we already have 5 players in there. How many receivers go in round 1? Get those predictions in for me in the comments section. J.C. Latham at number 19. If you want a right tackle, this is the guy that stands out to me. He's been very good for Alabama. Slid down 1 spot. So too did JT Tuimoloau, the defensive end pass rusher out of Ohio State. It's kind of funny, by the way. If my claim has always been, if you just watched the Penn State games, you would think that JT Tuimoloau is one of the best prospects in all of college football. He had 3 sacks in his 2 games against Penn State. The problem is that outside of those games, he has 4 sacks, or 4.5 sacks. Just some inconsistencies on that front. But the pressures have been there. The upside has been there. Big game against Michigan. Fair or not, that's going to do a lot for his draft stock. I like seeing Nate Wiggins on here, number 21. Again, last time we broke down Mel's big board, he did not have Wiggins on there. Happy to see him be included. Landon Jackson also continues to slide down the board. Again, Mel was clearly watching the Alabama-Arkansas game and saw, oh my God, 3.5 sacks in that one. He has not recorded a sack since that football game, and his other sacks come against BYU and Kent State. I think we're a little bit too high on Landon Jackson still, Mel. Drazon Newton out of Illinois. Not the biggest 3 technique, but I'm a sucker for undersized players as long as they produce. I like his game. No complaints about him being in the top 25. Jordan Morgan, good inclusion here out of Arizona. Again, it's a very good pass rushing class. And unfortunately, sliding down the wrong way more and more on the boards is Jared Verse. He is number 25. He had 2 sacks against Wake Forest and 2 sacks against Virginia Tech, but he only has 4.5 sacks after he posted 7.5 last year and played plus a sack and a half in the bowl game. It just has not been as impactful, as disruptive. But then again, FSU's undefeated, and he's still getting some good pressure rates. I think this is about the right spot for Verse, who I was hoping would have a bigger breakout year, but production-wise, simply has not. Who did Mel Kiper leave off of his 2024 NFL Draft Big Board? Plenty of names you could mention, so please do so in the comments section. Some names I think he left off. He did drop Kalen King, and a big reason why was because of the poor play against Ohio State, and I get it. That's a very tough game. You also didn't get to glean much about him against Michigan, because J.J. McCarthy is also not on this list. Michigan did not attempt to pass in the second half of that football game. But then again, when you're averaging 5 yards a carry, I get it. It's just kind of a funny game there. Love watching Troy Franklin play. He's explosive. I still think Amarius Mims needs to be in this conversation. I think he's too talented as a pass rusher or a tackle to not be on this list. I think he should be on there. I do wonder if we'll see some more of Chop Robinson. He's been banged up. He hasn't played that much this year. I think that's a factor in why he hasn't risen at all. But last time we saw him was against UMass. He had 3 sacks in his last 2 games back when he was playing before he got nicked up, unfortunately. Denzel Burke, the Ohio State corner, I think is a good name. I also think the other corner I could have put on here if I wanted to as well. I think you could have put Georgia's Kamari Lassiter on this list as well. Some names I think you should really consider. I still like McCarthy as my quarterback 3, especially if Shedeur Sanders does not go pro. But it's early in the draft process. More and more stuff is going to change, so not going to get too up over my skis from that perspective.